Good morning, students of class 5. Children, today I'll be starting with a new lesson 5, Alice in Wonderland. So, those of you who are having Wordsworth English Reader book, please take out your books and turn to page number 41. Page number 41 of Wordsworth English Reader book, lesson 5. So, children, today I'll be starting with lesson 5, and the name of our lesson is Alice in Wonderland. Children, this lesson is a small extract adapted from Lewis Carroll's popular children fantasy book Alice Adventures in Wonderland. बेटा ये एक लुइस कैरोल ऑथर है जिन्होंने बच्चों के लिए बहुत सारी फैंटेसी बुक्स लिखी है. फैंटेसी आप क्या क्या इमेजिन कर सकते हो, विच रियल लाइफ इट इज नॉट एट ऑल पॉसिबल. वो खाली आप सोच ही सकते हो, आपके सपनों की दुनिया, दैट इज वंडरलैंड. तो उन्होंने बच्चों के लिए, फॉर चिल्ड्रन, लुइस कैरोल हैज रिटन बुक्स एंड एलिस इन वंडरलैंड इज एन एक्सट्रैक्ट. जो हम लेसन पढ़ेंगे, ये एलिस एडवेंचर्स इन वंडरलैंड, ये एक्सट्रैक्ट है एंड इट इज फुल ऑफ ह्यूमर. यू विल एंजॉय एंड मैजिक. पूरा जादुई दुनिया के बारे में है एंड यू विल एंजॉय. बट चिल्ड्रन, when you read this lesson, आपको अपने सारे लॉजिक और रीजंस यू हैव टू कीप असाइड, बिकॉज इसमें कोई भी लॉजिक और रीजन काम नहीं करेगा. इट इज जस्ट अबाउट a small child's imagination, thinking that animals can talk, there's a wonderland, magical land. So it is all about that. Now, have you ever seen a rabbit talking like a human being? Children, have you seen any animal talking, a rabbit talking or animal talking? No, we haven't seen, but we can always imagine. We can always imagine a world where animals are talking and behaving like human beings. So it is totally upon our imagination. We can imagine whatever we feel. But हकीकत में, रियलिटी में बेटा ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. एनिमल्स कैन टॉक, they can't behave like human beings, isn't it? So this lesson is based on imagination of a small child. And what do you think will happen if animals start talking? And if animals start talking, children, the world will change. We'll have a entirely different world, and it will be a fascinating world, isn't it? So this story, children, Alice in Wonderland, it's an extract from Alice Adventure in Wonderland, and this is full of humor and magic. And when we read this lesson, you have to leave behind all your reasons and logic. आपको ये नहीं सोचना है कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ, क्योंकि ऐसा हो नहीं सकता. ये बस, this is just mere imagination of a child. So before I explain, let's read the lesson. After I read the lesson, we'll go through the new words of this lesson. One summer day, Alice and her kitten Dinha was sitting on the branches of a tree. Down below, her sister was reading aloud from a history book. But Alice wasn't listening. She was dreaming of a world where cats and rabbits wore clothes and lived in little houses. She picked up Dinha and climbed down the tree. Just then, a white rabbit came scuttling along. He was clutching a large watch. The white rabbit looked at his watch as he ran past Alice, muttering, "I am late, I am late." "How curious!" gasped Alice. "What could a rabbit possibly be late for? Please, she cried, wait for me. But the rabbit didn't stop. I'm late, he cried and disappeared into a large hole at the foot of a tree. Alice was now very curious. She squeezed into the dark hole and crawled after him. Suddenly, she found herself falling down, down, down. Luckily, her dress ballooned out like a parachute. She began floating. She looked around and saw that there were all kinds of strange pictures and furnitures hanging on the walls of the tunnel. At last, Alice reached the bottom. The white rabbit was just disappearing round the corner at the end of a very long corridor. Wait, cried Alice, chasing after him. At the end of the corridor was a tiny door. Alice tried the doorknob. Eek! Cried a voice. The doorknob was speaking. I'm looking for the white rabbit, said Alice. Please help me through. Sorry, you are too big, replied the doorknob. Try the bottle on the table over there. Alice looked around and saw the bottle labeled Drink Me. Alice tasted a little. Soon she finished every drop. Suddenly, Alice began to shrink. Soon she became so tiny that she was able to get through the little door. On the other side of the door, Alice found herself on the edge of a large forest. She saw the white rabbit through the trees in the distance. She started to run after him, but suddenly her way was blocked by two fat little men, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. My name is Alice, said Alice. I'm curious to know where the white rabbit is going. The two little men began talking at the same time. Alice couldn't understand what they were saying, so she decided to set off in another direction. Soon she came to a little house as she walked up the path. The white rabbit ran out of the front door. He was now dressed in a tunic and ruff. Oh my, I'm late, I'm late, he cried. Then he said to Alice, go and get my gloves. Alice was too surprised to argue and went inside the little house. She searched everywhere. Finally, she lifted the lid of a jar and found some biscuits. They looked very good to eat, so she took one. When Alice ate the biscuit, she started to grow and grow and grow. Soon she was so big that she was bursting out of the house. Her arms poked through the windows and her legs burst out of the door. A monster, cried the white rabbit. Perhaps if I find something else to eat, said Alice, it will make me small again. She stretched out her hand and pulled up a carrot from the garden. When she ate it, she began to shrink. Soon she was so small she could crawl under the front door. The rabbit, pleased that the monster had disappeared, ran off down the garden. Alice tried to follow him, but now that she was so tiny, the grass seemed like a huge forest. And who are you? Asked a sleepy voice. It was a caterpillar lying lazily on a mushroom. I'm Alice, replied Alice, and I wish I was a little taller. Suddenly, the caterpillar turned into a butterfly. I can help, said the butterfly, pointing at the mushroom. One side of this will make you taller, the other side will make you shorter. Then the butterfly fluttered away. Alice looked at the mushroom, trying to decide which side would make her taller. Finally, she broke off a piece from each side and took a large bite from one. Luckily, she had chosen the correct piece and was soon back to her normal height. She dropped the pieces of mushroom into her pocket. So, children, this is just a part of the story. Now, let's go through the new words along with the meanings which have come in the story. Children, our first word is scuttling. Scuttling means running hurriedly or secretively. When you run fast and you want that nobody should know about it, that is known as scuttling. Scuttling, running hurriedly or secretively. Scuttling, running hurriedly or secretively. With short, quick steps. Running hurriedly or secretively with short, quick steps. Else, if you run in a normal way, you will take slower steps and longer steps so that you are not hiding. But when you scuttle, you ensure that with short and quick steps so that you don't make any noise and you're not noticed. So that is scuttling. Scuttling, running hurriedly or secretively with short, quick steps. Scuttling, running hurriedly or secretively with short, quick steps. Again, scuttling, running hurriedly means running in a hurry, or secretively means hiding. You should not be noticed with short, quick steps. Children, the second word is clutching. Clutching is holding tightly. When you clutch something in your hand, you have often noticed your mothers carrying a clutch in the hand, isn't it? So clutch is a thing which can be you can hold in your hand. So clutching, holding tightly. 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 Then the third word, children, is muttering. Muttering means to say in a voice that can barely be heard, to talk or grumble in secret or in private. Beta, muttering means to say in a voice, to speak in such a manner that you are not audible to others. जिसे आप हिंदी में कहते हैं ना बुदबुदाना, कि आपने इतना धीरे बोला कि कोई आपको सुन ही नहीं पाया, बस आपने कुछ मुंह से बोला, and that is very secret or private. You don't want others to hear that. You are not audible to others, but they can see your the movement of lips but unable to hear. So you're not audible, that is muttering. जिसको हिंदी में बेटा हम बुदबुदाना बोलते हैं. आपने क्या बोला, लोगों ने आपको देखा कि आपका जो लिप्स का मूवमेंट है वो तो चल रहा है, बट व्हाट यू सेड दैट इज नॉट ऑडिबल. सो दैट इज मटरिंग. मटरिंग, टू से इन अ वॉइस दैट कैन barely be heard, to talk or grumble in secret or in private. Muttering, to say in a voice that can barely be heard, to talk or grumble in secret or in private. Now, the fourth word is curious. Curious, over here, the meaning of curious is strange, something which is not normal, strange. Here, the meaning of curious in this lesson is strange. Then, the fifth word is gasped. Gasp means to say something while catching one's breath. Gasp, to say something while catching one's breath. When you breathe loudly and then you speak something, so that is gasping. And then the sixth word is cried. Here, cried means not crying, but it means shouted. Cried, shouting in a loud voice. That means cried. Cried means shouted. Now, Again, curious has come. But on page number 41, the meaning of curious was strange. And on this page, the meaning of curious is different. This means eager to know or learn something. When you are, you don't have the patience to wait for something. You're curious. You want to know about something. That is curious. Curious, eager to know or learn something. Curious, eager to know or learn something. Then the eighth word is squeezed. Squeezed means manage to get into or through a narrow or restricted space. Squeezed, manage to get into or through a narrow or restricted space. You have seen the toothpaste squeezing out of the toothpaste, isn't it? Tube toothpaste जो है, you can see when you squeeze the tube, the toothpaste comes out. So squeezed in means you manage to come out of a small opening. So manage to get into or through a narrow or restricted space. कोई बहुत कम स्पेस की जगह है, आप उसके अंदर घुस के या तो आप बाहर निकलते हैं या अंदर जाते हैं. That is squeezed in, isn't it? Then squeeze means manage to get into or through a narrow or restricted space. Either you come out of it or you go inside. So that is squeezing. Next, ninth word is balloon. Balloon, to swell out in a spherical shape. जब आप balloon के जैसे ऐसे फूल जाना और उड़ना. यहाँ पे balloon is when Alice will be I'll be explaining the lesson. When Alice, she falls into the hole and her skirt, the skirt ballooned like a parachute. It had swelled like a balloon, so that she was flying directly. She didn't fall into the hole. And parachute, everybody knows what a parachute, a device like an umbrella. 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 Then 11th word is tunic. Tunic is a short coat. A short coat, a coat which has got a lesser length compared to the normal coats. So tunic, a short coat. Then 12th, ruff. Ruff is a kind of a collar. We have collar on our shirts, so ruff is a kind of a collar. 13th word is bursting. Bursting, to be so full as almost to break open. Bursting, to be so full as almost to break open. बर्स्ट करना बेटा, जब किसी भी चीज में बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर बिल्डअप हो जाता है, यू फील द थिंग्स विल बर्स्ट. लाइक you feel at times when you are filling air in a balloon, the balloon bursts up if excess air is filled in it. And then the 14th word is poked. Poked means stuck out. Poked means stuck out. Poked means stuck out. Then 15th word is stretched. Stretched is extended. At times when we get up early in the morning, we stretch ourselves before doing anything, isn't it? So stretch is extended. Then 16th word, children, is fluttered. Fluttered means to fly unsteadily by flapping the wings quickly and lightly. To fly unsteadily by flapping the wings quickly and lightly. बेटा जो बर्ड्स होते हैं वो अपने जो पंख हैं वो फड़फड़ाते हैं, एंड उस पंखों के फड़फड़ाने को हम इंग्लिश में we call it fluttered. So we call it fluttered. So once again, I'll pronounce the new words for you so that you learn the correct pronunciations of the words. The first word, children, is scuttling, which means running hurriedly or secretively with short, quick steps. Second word is clutching. Clutching means holding tightly. The third word is muttering. Muttering means to stay in a voice that can barely be heard, or to talk or grumble in secret or in private. Then curious. On this page, the meaning of curious is strange. Then fifth word is gasped. Gasped, to say something while catching one's breath. The sixth word is cried. Cried means shouted. Then the seventh word again is curious, but with a different meaning. Here, curious means eager to know or learn something. Eager to know or learn something. Eighth word is squeezed. Squeezed, manage to get into or through a narrow or restricted space. Ninth word is ballooned. Balloon means to swell out in a spherical shape. 10th word is parachute, a device like an umbrella. 11th, tunic, a short coat. Tunic, a short coat. 12th, ruff, a kind of collar. 13th, bursting, to be so full as almost to break open. 14th, poked. Poked means stuck out. Poked means stuck out. 15th word is stretched. Stretch means extended. Stretch means extended. And 16th word is fluttered. Fluttered, to fly unsteadily by flapping the wings quickly and lightly. Now, children, I start explaining the lesson. One summer day, Alice and her kitten Dina was sitting on the branches of a tree. Children, it was a summer day of summer season, and when Alice, along with her kitten, a baby of a cat, and the name of the kitten was Dina. So Alice, along with the kitten, was sitting on the branches of a tree. You can see that Alice is sitting with her kitten on the branches of a tree. Down below, her sister was reading aloud from a history book. And you can see in the picture, Alice is sitting with her kitten on the branch while her sister is sitting at the foot of a tree and reading a history book aloud. Aloud means which can be read loudly so that others can also hear it. So Alice, along with her kitten, and the name of Alice's kitten was Dina. Alice and Dina were sitting on top of a branch, whereas her sister, Alice's sister, was sitting at the foot of a tree and reading a history book loudly. You can see in the picture, she's holding a book in the hand, and the book is of which subject, children? History. And she is reading loudly. But Alice wasn't listening. But Alice was not at all listening to what her sister was reading. She was dreaming of a world where cats and rabbits were close and lived in little houses. While her sister was reading the book loudly, Alice was not bothered what she was reading. Alice was just dreaming. बेटा वो सपनों में खो गई थी. And she was dreaming. वो एक ऐसे दुनिया के बारे में ड्रीम कर रही थी where cats and rabbits, जहाँ पे cats और rabbits they wore clothes. जो cats और rabbits उस दुनिया में कपड़े पहनते हैं and lived in little houses. Like human beings, we wear clothes, isn't it? So same way, cats and rabbits, they wore clothes and lived in little houses. This is what Alice was dreaming, sitting on the branch of the tree with her little cat Dina, while her sister was reading a history book loudly. She picked up Dina and climbed down from the tree. While she was dreaming of the world where cats and rabbits wore clothes and lived in little houses, after that, she picked up her kitten Dina and then she climbed on the tree. बेटा सपने देख रही थी एक ऐसी दुनिया में जहाँ cats and rabbits जो वहाँ human beings की तरह they wear clothes and lived in little houses. And after that, Alice, she picked up her kitten and then she climbed down the tree. She came on the ground. Just then, a white rabbit came scuttling along. When Alice came down, what did she saw? She saw a white rabbit running hurriedly, and the rabbit was running in such a way that he didn't want it to be noticed, and he was clutching a large watch. वो rabbit जो है भाग रहा था, but बेटा उस ढंग से he was running कि कोई उसको notice ना करे secretly, जैसे कि वो किसी secret mission पे जा रहा हो. And he was clutching a large watch. Clutching means holding tightly. उसने अपने हाथ में एक बड़ी सी वॉच पकड़ रखी थी. What did Alice saw when she got down from the tree? The moment she got down from the tree, she noticed that a white rabbit was scuttling along. बहुत तेजी से भाग रहा था, clutching a large watch in its hand. और बड़ी सी एक वॉच जो है अपने हाथ में पकड़े हुए था. The white rabbit looked at his watch as he ran past Alice, muttering, "I'm late, I'm late." जैसे ही वो व्हाइट रैबिट बेटा एलिस के पास से भागा, उसने अपनी वॉच में देखा रैबिट ने, और उसने धीरे से मटर किया, स्पोक इन अ मैनर दैट, बस दूसरों को लगा कि ही स्पोक समथिंग बट वाज नॉट ऑडिबल, दूसरों को जो सुनाई न दे. और उसने धीरे से मटर किया, आई एम लेट, आई एम लेट. सो व्हाट डिड एलिस नोटिस व्हेन शी केम डाउन फ्रॉम द branch of the tree to the ground? That she saw a white rabbit scuttling. एक बहुत तेजी से भाग रहा था, and he was clutching, he was holding a large watch in his hand. और व्हाइट रैबिट जैसे ही एलिस के साइड से निकला, उसने अपनी वॉच में, बड़ी सी वॉच में देखा, एंड देन ही मटर्ड, आई एम लेट, आई एम लेट, कि वो कहीं उसको पहुंचने में बहुत लेट हो रहा था. How curious, gasped Alice. Now Alice, that was something very strange, because we don't see animals talking, huh? And the rabbit was talking, he was saying I'm late, and he was also holding a watch in his hand. So these are the two strange things. Yeah, curious means strange, which Alice had never seen before. So this is what she noticed. So how curious, something very strange for Alice, that how come a rabbit, he was talking and holding a watch in his hand. What could a rabbit possibly be late for? Then Alice started thinking, when she heard him saying, when Alice heard the rabbit say, I'm late, she thought, अरे ये rabbit ऐसा क्या काम कर रहा है कि वो late हो गया. She was curious, and then because she had never seen a rabbit talking before, and the rabbit was also clutching, holding a watch in his hand. So that was something very strange for Alice to notice. And then she wondered what was the reason that the rabbit was late for. She wanted to find out the reason कि rabbit ऐसा क्या कर रहा है कि वो late हो गया है. Please, she cried, wait for me. Alice, it was a very unusual sight for Alice. And then she cried, she shouted uh, to the rabbit, please, she cried, wait for me. उसने बोला rabbit को, please, she cried, she shouted, wait for me, please wait for me. Because she wanted to know the reason, that what was the reason that the rabbit was muttering, I'm late, I'm late. So in the first page, children, we have seen that Alice, she was sitting on the branch of a tree along with her kitten Dinah, and her sister was sitting at the bottom of the same tree and reading a history book loudly. But Alice, she was not listening to what her sister was reading. She was dreaming of a world where cats and rabbits, they wear clothes and live in little houses like human beings. She was just dreaming. She was fantasizing things. वो बस बेटा सपनों की दुनिया में थी. वो सोच रही थी एक ऐसी दुनिया के बारे में जहाँ रैबिट्स और कैट्स कपड़े पहनते हैं और स्मॉल हाउसेस में रहते हैं. Then she picked up her kitten Dinah, and then she climbed down the tree. And when she climbed down the tree, just then she saw a rabbit. He was scuttling, running hurriedly, and the rabbit was also holding a watch, a large watch in his hand. And the moment the rabbit came next to Alice, he muttered, looking at his watch, I'm late, I'm late. And this, when Alice heard the rabbit muttering, I'm late, so Alice was wondering that what could be the reason that the rabbit is late for. So she cried to the rabbit, please wait. She shouted that wait for me. That means she was going to follow the rabbit and ask him the reason, that what was the reason for him being late. So children, I hope the meaning of first page is clear to you. Now children, please try to read the lesson. Now the next page I'll be explaining in my next class.